What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another video. Today we're going to be looking at 10 potential new stadiums coming in the decade of the 2020s. Before we crack on with this video though, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, then make sure you help support my channel by subscribing, pressing that red button and pressing the bell and putting your push notifications on. I'm aiming for 6,000 subscribers, so any help towards that would be much appreciated. You can find my social media links, my Twitter and Instagram, in description below, and also popping up on screen if you want to go and follow me on there. That would also be much appreciated. You can also find my email in the description below too if you want to go and hit me up for any sponsorships or any videos or any general business inquiries. Leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and also let me know your thoughts in the comments below. So we're going to crack on with this video, and we're first up going to be starting with a new stadium potentially coming in the Netherlands. Now it's called, at this moment in time, the new Feyenoord Stadium. So it's going to Feyenoord. This is still in the planning side of things though. It just needs final approval for the construction to begin on a new stadium for Feyenoord. Now there has been some various different plans that have been going through the motions. So originally it was planning to expand their stadium from 51,000 to 80,000, which was then reduced to 70,000 before Feyenoord ended up then settling, actually we're going to go and build a new stadium, and it's going to have a capacity of even less than 70,000, of 63,000. But they are confident, if the approval can be given at some point this year, that this stadium could be complete by the middle of the decade. A smart looking stadium, a brand new stadium for Feyenoord, and so exciting times for them. They just need that approval. Now, a new stadium that could well be coming to England, and it has taken a step closer just as of last year, is the Bramley-Moore Dock Stadium, which will be Everton's new home. Now it's going to be a new 52,000 capacity seater stadium on the docks in Liverpool, and they want it completed by the time the 2023-24 season starts. Plans have been a loggerhead for quite a few years now, but they've had recent breakthrough with more investment coming into Everton, and the stadium's now more realistic. They've drawn up plans, they've released models and everything for the stadium. The final plans have been released. It's smart, it's modern, it's described as the people's project, and if I'm completely honest, I'm looking forward to seeing Everton's new stadium and where they go next from here. Of course, an exciting new time for Everton. We're just waiting now for construction to begin, and once that has begun, they'll look then forward to moving to their new home, which construction could well begin quite soon once they've got everything approved, and they have taken a big giant leap towards that. Now, another new stadium that might be coming is coming in Italy, in the city of Milan. Now, it's going to be a new home for both AC and Inter Milan, from what I was doing my research on. They're wanting it to be built next to their current stadium, the San Siro. The San Siro is a little bit worn down. The stadium is really big, and AC Milan and Inter Milan do struggle for the majority of their games to sell out, and they're looking to, well, reduce their capacity, and so the stadium's more fit for purpose for their club, rather than having this grand stadium, which of course was built for the World Cup in Italy back in 1990. Now, it's still at the planning stages for this stadium. They're still trying to get designs confirmed, they're still trying to get fans consulted and everything, and so there's lots of different designs at this moment. Nothing's concrete too yet. They also had a look at a possible reconstruction of the San Siro to reduce its capacity and modernise the stadium, but when you're doing all that, you're having to then close parts of the stadium off. You're having to do a lot of work around whilst games are going on and the business is still operating. It's just very difficult to be able to do that, and it might cost a little bit more money, but it is a lot easier just to build a new stadium somewhere else, and so that seems most likely on what is going to happen. But we're still waiting for the final concrete plans to be approved, planning permission granted, and then construction funded and starting is what we're waiting for. It's thought that they did want the stadium completing by 2023, and in my opinion that's quite unrealistic unless approval for designs and construction is completed very soon, and that might be realistic, but at this moment in time, to me anyway, it's something to keep a close eye on for the development of this stadium. They're apparently wanting the capacity to be at around 60,000 for the stadium. Of course, a reduced capacity for the San Siro, because the San Siro does currently hold closer to 80,000. Now, speaking of a grand stadium, moves us nicely onto a stadium in Germany, and a new stadium that may well be getting built called the Hertha Fusballarena, which is going to be a new home for Hertha Berlin. And just like Milan, they're wanting to reduce the capacity from a current iconic stadium Stadium, which of course is the Olympic Stadium in Berlin. They're wanting a new stadium to be holding a capacity of just over 55,000 fans, which is a reduced capacity. I think the Olympic Stadium holds somewhere between 70 and 75,000. So again, another 15 to 20,000 decrease in their capacity because it's just not fit for purpose. The stadium is just too big for the fan base that they're wanted, so they're wanting to reduce it, and so they're able to have a full stadium. The atmosphere created is a lot better, and obviously they're able to then reduce the costs and everything for the stadium's maintenance, etc., etc. It's believed that the Hertha Fusballarena, they're wanting to be completed by 2025 because that is when the lease is up for the Olympic Stadium for Hertha Berlin, so they're wanting things to be done by 2025, so otherwise they're going to have to pay more money to keep renewing their lease, so they're not going to want to do that, so they want to get this completed ASAP. It's still in the proposal stages though, so they're still needing things to get approved. Like I said, with many of the stadiums, they're still needing to get planning permission approved, they're still needing to get funding for the stadium, for the construction to begin, and then the construction actually beginning and continuing the investment, because they always come up with cost for the stadium, and stadiums, for some reason, always seem to cost a little bit more money than what they were expecting, and if you get contractor complications and stuff, then it does put delays on the stadium. It won't be the first, and it won't be the last time that this does happen, and there's all kinds of reasons why you get delays to stadiums being built. But there we go. But this stadium, it's a very modern German-looking stadium to me. It looks very similar to what Hoffenheim have got, to what Mönchengladbach's also got, and so it seems like it's a likely source for Hertha Berlin to go down, and so be it if that is what they want. Now we're going to go to Spain now and have a look at another stadium. It's called the Nou Mestalla, which is Valencia's new home, or what they're wanting anyway. Now it was 54,000 seater capacity was originally planned to hold, but more plans and construction have been going on since the middle of the 2010s. It's seen finances complicate issues. The project's been cast into doubt. Originally they did want it to be 70,000 capacity. It's been reduced, well, a lot, 16,000 down to 54,000, and this has been going on now for several years since the start of the 2010s, and so Valencia, they've been in talks with the Valencia Council to try and sort out the planning and permission, have the stadium completed at a reduced capacity, but there's still no confirmation on the construction resuming, but I'm hoping that this decade we'll see the breakthrough in that, and Valencia will finally get their new home, because a lot of stadiums in Spain, they're needing a lot of modernisation and needing a lot of reconstruction on their stadiums, and so it's just easier, like I said, to build new stadiums. Atletico Madrid's done this, Valencia are looking to do this, AC and Inter Milan are looking to do this. You know, it's becoming a common theme throughout Europe. Valencia, they wanted to sell their stadium to be able to raise funds, but it's complicated because they're still playing in their stadium and stuff, and they're going to have to rent, etc., etc. It's just complicated, but I'm hoping at some point in this decade they'll be able to get it over the line. It was being reported 2022 that Valencia wanted to move into their new home. I doubt that. We'll have to keep an eye on this one, but I'm hoping at some point they will get their new stadium. Now we're going to go over to Italy. We've been over to Italy with Milan's. We're now going over to Roma. Stadio Della Roma, a new home for AS Roma, and it's not going to be a shared stadium with Lazio, which I find interesting. It's a 52,500 capacity, which can be expanded on a later date to 60,000. AS Roma, they've extended their lease on the Stadio Olimpico to the end of this season, as they want their stadium to be completed for the start of next season. It's a smart-looking stadium. It's another stadium, though, where obviously they're reducing the capacity because it's just not fit for their demand. And now, like I said, it's not going to be shared with Lazio, like the Stadio Olimpico was, so I'm not too sure what's going to be happening with Lazio. I'll have to do some more research, see what's happening for them. Are they going to have the lease and continue at the Stadio Olimpico alone? I do not know, but I'm not too sure if construction has started. My research was a bit vague when coming about and trying to research on details of the stadium, because it's quite complicated in being able to find details and stuff like that. You just see stadiums, like if you go to Rome, you'll be able to find obviously your own updates on there, but being able to find stuff on the internet and stuff wasn't really there, so I'm not too sure if construction has started or not, but I imagine that if their lease is up for the Stadio Olimpico at the end of the season, they're going to want it completed by then. Otherwise it's just maybe going to be a year-on-year renewal of their lease to stay at the Stadio Olimpico until their new stadium is built. Whatever that will be, I do not know. Roma, they are looking for a sponsor for their stadium's name, so they are looking to go down that route with a new sponsor. Now we're going to stay in Italy. We're going to look at the Nuovo Stadio Fiorentina, a new home for Fiorentina. Since their takeover, Fiorentina, they bought a new plot of land and they want to build a new modern smart stadium for their team. They have been in their current home since 1931. They've looked at redevelopment, but like lots of clubs throughout Europe, they're looking at building a new stadium to be able to to be able to modernise, because it's just easier and it's less complicated than being able to reconstruct whilst playing and business is still operating. They had hoped to move into their new stadium by 2021, but they've experienced complications and it means delays for them. And apparently Fiorentina's owner, he's still undecided on what to go for Fiorentina, as he has bought a plot of land to put a stadium on, but he's also looked at other plots of land for where the stadium he wants to go. So I imagine all the travel and all the situations of where the stadium's going to be placed and stuff, what's going to suit for the city, etc., is what will come into hand. But this stadium is a planned capacity of 45,000 people. But when will that be done? Now we're going to move on to another country in Europe. We're going to look at Greece, and it's a new stadium that could well be coming soon to Saloniki in Greece. Now PAOK, they're wanting a new stadium with just under 42,000 capacity. They want construction to be able to start soon, any month now, because they want to move into their new stadium at some point during the year of 2020. Nice looking stadium for them and an exciting times for them. Go back to Germany now. The SC Stadion, I've covered this before in a previous video. That's looking to come soon to Freiburg in Germany. 24,000 capacity for their current stadium. This new stadium is going to hold 34,700, so just over 10,000 more spectators for their smart looking stadium. And like I said before, Hoffenheim, Mönchengladbach, Hertha Berlin, obviously Freiburg, they've all got a very similar feel and look about them, but it is a smart looking stadium, no doubting about that. And Freiburg wanting their new home to be able to move in for this summer, ready for the start of next season. Now the last stadium in this video takes us back to Greece, and it's with Panathinaikos. Now they're looking at a new stadium with around a capacity of 32,000 spectators. It's a big project this, because they've got more than just that happening. They're also looking at be able to build a new basketball arena, which is going to have 14,000 capacity stadium. They're also looking to build a volleyball arena, and that's going to have a 3,000 capacity spectator holding, as well as looking at building new swimming and gym facilities to be built on this ambitious project. But due to Greece's financial situation as of 2013, it hit complications for their plans and constructions, and they were stopped. And so whether these ambitious plans ever come into fruition again and we see them completed, I do not know. But maybe this decade we might see an improvement on the finances in Greece, and Panathinaikos may get their new ambitious area for their new stadiums, which is going to be coming to their city for a long-awaited new home, perhaps. So there we go, that has been the video. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy this video, make sure you leave a thumbs up so I know that you enjoyed this video. Don't forget also subscribe if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. You can find my social media links in the description below and popping up on screen if you want to go and follow me on there. And you can also find my email in the description below if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos, or hit me up with any general business enquiries. And don't forget also leave your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see you all again for the next video. So it's been JSGC. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Peace. Ciao for now.